Today in this video, we are basically going to discuss how I went from paying almost all of my college tuition, having so much money in student debt, to having almost my entire college funded for. So this should be super interesting. The summer I turned into an adult series. Like, I really loved that series. I think it was super fun, but honestly I just was kind of like, okay, like y'all see, you know, kind of what I do in my life, like, you know, kind of how things are going. I feel like now I want to do more where like I'm actually interacting with y'all about in-depth things. So this is where we're going to start. Literally just going to be doing my makeup while I tell y'all about this, because why not? Like, I'm on my way out to go somewhere and I was just like, yeah, like let me just do my makeup and stuff while I talk to y'all about this. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Brooklyn Miller. I am going into my senior year at Hampton University in Hampton, Virginia. And I'm trying to think, is there anything about else important that I would think? Oh, I'm a journalism major. And yeah, I attend the Scripps Howard School of Journalism and Communications at my university. So that's just a little bit more to know about just kind of like me and what I'm currently doing right now. So to start off, I want to start with first being most important. I literally wrote everything down in a little notebook, so I would remember everything I want to tell y'all. But one I would definitely say is build strong connections. I feel like people always talk about this and people don't really talk about how important it truly is and how it is definitely like gonna be the basis for everything you do going into your adulthood, and especially just like, how do I say, like just becoming just like becoming an adult, going to school, doing all the things that you need to do. That's probably going to be your top priority, is to make sure, even like I would start small, start in your school. You know, if your major is computer science, find people within that major, find people in your interest and talk to them, like build relationships with them. And it doesn't have to be forced, it doesn't have to be fake. Like, that's another big thing too, y'all. Like, if you know that you don't connect with somebody and it's just, don't try to make, you know, it doesn't have to be on a thing where it's like, I must speak to every single person, I must be friends with every single person. But you know, just be open. And if you feel like there's a connection that you can possibly build, be super open to making that connection with people. Like, I sound like I'm on Love Island, guys. I've been watching it. You know, we've been watching Love Island for the past 2 weeks straight. Everything is a connection to me now, but it's so real, I promise y'all. So the second thing I want to bring up when it comes more specifically to me applying to scholarships is building on from building connections. Find local scholarships through your university. This is going to start with you building your connections. So when you see people, if you're talking to people, they're going to eventually run these things by you. If you have a professor like in your specific school, usually it's your dean who's like sending out those emails and like updating people on different scholarships or grants or whatever that's being handed out. So like, that's definitely where you're going to want to look. I feel like I kind of like encountered it kind of by accident, because I'm naturally just a talker. Like, I just like to yap with people, and people will tell you like things that they have coming up, scholarships or whatever. Ask about them, talk to people about them, ask people. Don't be afraid to reach out to people, ask them, you know, like, is there anything that's going out right now? I know for my school, every month or whatever, like our assistant dean, she goes in and she updates our listserv of all the different scholarships that are available to us, scholarships and internships as well. So I definitely make sure to check that like very often and see what's open. I'll also put like in the comment section or wherever, like I'll put down below like different websites and stuff. For example, TMCF, like that's a really good college fund, and I know a lot of my peers like received scholarships through TMCF, so that's definitely somewhere that I would look as well. But there's others just like that as well, and those are definitely going to be good for you, especially as an HBCU student, because that's mainly who they support. Also, through your university, see if you can find a job, a university related job. My sophomore year, I had the opportunity to work in university relations for like Hampton, because, you know, I was a journalism major, so I was able to, you know, you'll find ways. I'm telling you guys, it all starts with building your connections. You'll find different people that you can connect with, and who, you know, you might just find like, oh, like you're the director of this, or you're doing this. let me, you know what I'm saying, let me come work for you, let me get some community service hours with you, let me, you know, like whatever the case may be, whatever it is that you need help with, like you'll find those people and you'll never know. That's why be nice to everybody, be kind to everyone, because you never know who is going to be a possible connection for you. Oh, also finding a university job. I think that can be a great way for you to get extra funds. If, for example, if you have a university internship, for my job in university relations, I was paid for that monthly. And, you know, they sent me a check monthly for my work. And it was like, you know, it was good. I won't even lie to y'all. It was... I didn't have to have a job that school year. Like I was able to really just focus on school, and I love that. And I bring this up to say that yes, that was also extra money that I was being paid for my work and my time, but also it bridged a connection for me to be able to get a scholarship in the future, because that person that I was working with saw, like, I came to him, you know, I had an extra like balance that I had to take care of. I came to him, I, you know, told him my situation, and he was able to find something for me and find some funding, additional funding that could be then put, you know, into my account, because he's seen my work ethic. He's like, we value you, you know, as a university student, and we are, you know, we're gonna accept for you. Like, obviously we want you to stay here, we want you to thrive, we want you to flourish. So, you know, I definitely think that's a big thing. If you take one thing away from my video today, take that away. Build your connections. Always. That was basically able to turn into a little scholarship for me when I needed a little bit of funds. So just to give you guys a little bit of a timeline, starting at my freshman year, I literally had financial aid, and I had one grant that was like, I think, and I still have the grant, it was like $3,500 a semester, but the rest of my tuition, and you can look up Hampton University tuition if you like, you see what I'm working with. Like, it was definitely like, dang, like having all of that, like, of course I love my university, like I wouldn't trade it for the world, but it was just very difficult for me to fathom that I was gonna have to pay all that money back. Like, dang, like, you know, and I'm still gonna have to pay some of that back, but doing these things definitely help now. I want to start off also saying, applying to local scholarships is super, super important. Starting off, when I didn't have anything, that was what I was mainly looking for. Local scholarships that were in my area that were specific to me. So the first major scholarship that I received that pretty much does cover like all of my like everything that I need right now, I found because I was a sophomore at the time, and the scholarship was specifically for sophomore women attending Hampton University. So like, obviously, like that pool is so small, like I was able to find something, you know, super, super like close to what I wanted to do. So it just like made sense, you know? And I'm so grateful for that, because honestly, like if I wouldn't have gotten that scholarship, I would have literally like, it's just, tuition is crazy, and that would have just been such a like weight lifted off my shoulder to know that now that was like an additional scholarship that I had. Because honestly, as a high school student, like I did not come in with a lot of, like I just told you guys, I came in with nothing. Like the only scholarship, the only thing I was getting was a grant from financial aid. Like I came in, when it came to preparing for college, I just wasn't necessarily that kind of student that really paid attention to stuff like that. I didn't even really know for sure if college was for me until like it came about that time to like apply, and I really had to sit and think about like, is this what I want to do? So, you know, going to college was definitely like a new experience for me, and it was just kind of like, we're gonna figure it out as we go. So, you know, this is for students that follow underneath that category. I mean, it's for anyone, but it's really for the students who, you know, need that extra support and who are really coming in and really doing this on their own. I'm the first person in my family who will graduate from an HBCU, so if anyone who goes to an HBCU, you know that is like, it's a tough one. You're building basically your own legacy. You're doing everything by yourself. You're starting a whole new chapter for yourself. And especially with being so far from home, I'm 12 hours away from home. I currently live in Michigan. You know, my school is all the way in Virginia. It was definitely like a huge, just new experience. So securing the funds were like, you know, yeah. it's been a journey, but I'm very grateful. Moving on to how I ended up getting more of my college paid for, I also currently working for my university. I also get paid for that through tuition. So now I have a room scholarship for the work that I do with the university, so that's able to give me that extra funding that I need, just like to cover my room. Since I do have premium housing, I still do have to pay additional for that premium housing, but just having that room scholarship is super helpful because it's taking off like a pretty big chunk of the amount of money that I have to pay. Then I'm trying to think, there's one more. Oh, and then I still have my grant. So that was also like a big help as well, because I do have like that $3,500 now per semester going on top of that. And I'm trying to think, is there anything else? Oh, and then remember I told you guys when I needed a little bit extra, I was able to locate someone in the financial aid department that was able to locate additional funding for me. So as you can see, all of the different ways that I've been able to get money have really like all came together and connected into this video as I talk about every single thing, because I really had to use every single one of my resources to be able to get to that point. So, it's a journey for sure. It's not overnight, especially just doing it on your own and not really having like support from, like, not saying that I didn't have support from my parents, because I 100% do, and I 100% appreciate them for everything. But, as coming in, like, I'm the first person, like, I'm doing it by myself. I'm in a whole nother state. Like, I'm figuring everything out step by step. I don't really have anyone who's like telling me exactly this is how it's gonna go. So all in all, I want you guys to focus on those, I think we mentioned 4 things: building strong connections, finding local scholarships or finding a university job, being specific with the scholarships that you apply to, making sure that they actually pertain to your major, you, or just anything that would be related to you, to build that personal connection, and not being afraid to ask people for help. I think when I really think about it, those are probably like the strongest things that I can honestly say about like finding scholarships and finding internships as well. I feel like it applies to both. I feel like it applies to even finding a job. Like, these are all things that you're gonna need, and all tools that you'll need as like just just going into your adult life. And obviously, like, I'm not a fully grown, well, at this point I almost am. I just turned 21, but I'm not like, I'm not grown yet, but just like so far, this is what I've noticed along my journey, and this is what has worked for me. I'm trying to think like if there's anything else that I want to add, like if I feel like there's anything that I'm missing. But I don't know, I really gave y'all the tea. I really locked y'all in, like, I don't know. That was a good little one too. Yeah. I mean, like, that's really how you do it. And build the accolades to get the scholarships. Like, yes, all these things will work, but these things will work through you doing the work. Like, that is, at the end of the day, like, if you know your GPA is a 1.9, 2.2, and you haven't networked or made any connections with anybody on this campus, and you're wondering why you don't have scholarships, like, or if you not having nothing lined up or just anything, that's really, come on, like, y'all gotta, you gotta give a little to get a little. So definitely making sure that you're setting the standard for yourself and you're staying involved on campus, like, as you matriculate, because, like, people want to see that you're being involved. Like, people don't want to give somebody money when they're just like, dang, like, is she even gonna take the money and be willing to do anything with the money, or like, really, what's her goal? So, or his goal, so people honestly just want to see, people want to see your work ethic, and people want to see really what you're all about. So I definitely recommend, like, staying involved, staying, on top of your grades, because that's honestly what's going to help you stand out as a candidate for scholarships that you may inquire upon. But yeah, I think that's really the real scoop for y'all. All right, y'all, my makeup is done. I tried to hold the light up so y'all could see it better, but honestly, I think it just helps to leave it where I had it at. I still put my setting spray on and stuff. I'm actually about to get ready to go have dinner. I just want to say thank you so much to everyone who supports me and watched this video and took the time out of your day to just, you know, see what's up. And if you have any advice that you may need or just want to reach out to me, or even if there's any advice that you can give me, I'm more than happy to take it. I'm always looking for other opportunities to, you know, secure more funding for myself as well. But yeah, you can follow me on everything at Brooklyn Miller TV. Email me at Gmail, brooklynmillertv@gmail.com. Everything Brooklyn Miller TV. All right, bye y'all. Love y'all.